Shalom Israel. And when I say Shalom Israel, when I say Israel, I'm directing that towards all niggas, all you niggas, brothers and sisters, you know, male or female, who got some sense and somewhere on the right track. You know what I'm talking about. Regardless as to, you know, what a particular school of thought is. And the reason for that is because, see, you got a whole lot of Hebrew Israelites that done lost their goddamn mind. Niggas that I seen this comment popping up. Well, motherfucker say, stop blaming the white man. We the one broke the laws and stuff, and that's why we going through this. That's cool. But when you start taking it, that shit, and going, little motherfuckers be going a little bit too far, beating up the people with that shit. To where when I read and I catch the wrong vibe from that shit. Hold a motherfucker accountable, but don't. The motherfucker done been through the curses, goddammit. These niggas done read a couple scriptures, think they know something, which they don't. And you can watch any nigga that's a Hebrew Israelite that talks that shit. Watch my video series, The Zeitgeist for Negroes, and shut your bitch ass up. But you're going a little bit too far. I mean, just dogging the people. I mean, it's just, and some of y'all done seen these comments that I'm talking about. They go a little bit too hard at dogging the people. Now, a few years back, about 2.5 years ago, that relates to this particular issue. This is a problem the Negroes have as a people. Everybody else knows who their enemy is, and they gonna deal with their enemy, and they gonna put all the blame that he deserves on his ass. Now, if y'all, I'm sure everybody remembers about 2.5 years ago, I'm a big Tennessee Lady Volunteer basketball fan. And of course, a couple years ago, they had my favorite basketball player, Alexis Hornbuckle. And that was a team back in 2007, they also 2008, and they won the second of 2 consecutive titles. Now in 2007, you know, and they had some other players in there, Candace Parker and some more players, you know, Shannon Bobby, some players you might not have heard of, you know, unless you're a big basketball fan. But in that 2007 championship game, they played C. Vivian Stringers, Rutgers, Lady Scarlet Knights. And of course, that's when, you know, after that game, and Don Imus was on the radio talking they was nappy-headed hoes and so forth. Now, he came with the bullshit talking about, well, the rappers be saying hoes too. First of all, let me say this. I wasn't even concerned at the time when this motherfucker was talking about with him calling them hoes. I was offended at the nappy-headed part. You know, that's some offensive shit. And niggas should have been on his ass for that. But as far as the part where they're calling him calling them hoes, and then he said, well, rappers be saying it too. All of a sudden, all the niggas just stopped being mad at him. And they said, oh, the rappers so bad. No, we can't get mad at white people. We got to get on these rappers. First of all, who own the fucking record labels? It ain't none of us. Now, I tell you, just like Ali Muhammad said concerning that issue, concerning something that, the question about the rappers and them being held accountable for their lyrics and stuff, when Sarnetta had asked him that question, he was asked a lot of people, he asked Ali Muhammad. Ali Muhammad said, yeah, but you got to teach them about some economics, about some distribution of their music, so that a motherfucker can say what he want, because these record labels is pushing that shit, man. If a nigga don't push that bullshit, he ain't getting on. It's plain and simple. Now, if a motherfucker is educated about his distribution, now he can still say positive shit and still feed his family. That's what Ali Muhammad was saying. But niggas ain't concerned with that shit. Okay? Now, if you gonna talk about these rappers, the thing is, Negroes don't understand. There is a difference that you have to make sure you doing right by. There's a difference between holding your people accountable on the one hand, and then on the other hand, just using niggas as a fucking scapegoat for everything that goes on. And that's what the fuck y'all niggas is doing as far as that issue is concerned. You taking all the blame off these motherfuckers like they ain't doing shit. Yeah, niggas is doing shit. But you don't find out that, or since a nigga did it, well, we just gonna forget about the cracker and just beat up on the nigga for it. And the situation don't change. Your condition don't change. Obviously, you're not doing something right, you stupid motherfucker. Other people understand. They got enough love for each other, for their own people, that, or at least, if not enough love for themselves, they at least got enough hate and jealousy for your stupid black ass, that they not gonna beat themselves up or beat each other up instead of you. They gonna use your motherfucking ass as a scapegoat. And at least they gonna correct each other, but they gonna make sure they still showing some kind of love for each other, man. You cannot just ignore all that they have to do with this shit. Please don't come on these comments and say no stupid ass shit. I might just go ahead and just delete the shit, but I'm telling you. I mean, I'm not feel like reading that foolishness, man. Because I'm going to have to see what you're talking about first, at least a couple words just to see where you at before I just know automatically, yeah, go ahead and delete that shit. So if that shit, man, please don't come to me with none of that goddamn foolishness, man. It's too late for that shit. I don't understand that. It's too late. This is fucking so-called 2009 going into so-called 2010. It's too late for that shit, man. You need to leave that foolishness alone. All that doctrine, that constant with that everyday shit, leave that shit alone, man. Now, enough with that issue. The next thing I want to talk about, something that just came to mind, not something that just came to mind, but something that I wanted to, it just came to mind for me to talk about it on the damn YouTube and whatnot. Now, of course, today, on this particular day, they celebrating the birthday of a particular Babylonian god, so-called god or deity or whatever this entity is, by the name of Nimrod. But they call it by various names, holiday season, Christmas, whatever they want to call it. But so Nimrod was born on today. Now, of course, we know the Babylonians and the so-called Christmas tree and the evergreen and Semiramis and hanging the niggas' heads on the tree and the gold tail, all that. The winter solstice, Sol Invictus, Saturnalia. We know all that. I ain't gonna talk about that because we all know what that shit is. My issue concerning that is this. If I tell a nigga about that, he'll say, well, I celebrated. It used to be a female that really got this shit back. But to me, Christmas is about Jesus and all that shit. Which is just as fucked up, as knowing that it's Nimrod. But just like I told the sister about the Thanksgiving thing, back in this so-called Thanksgiving, when that came about, I told the sister, I said, Thanksgiving is the devil. And the sister, she gonna say, well, to me, Thanksgiving is the day to, and I don't know what the fuck she said after that, because as soon as I saw that, I saw it on MySpace. As soon as I saw that part, I said, fuck that shit. And because ain't number one thing coming after that. It's some bullshit.